Today I'm addressing a topic that I think that there is a lot of shame surrounding. I think there is a lot of expectations that we put on ourselves, a lot of shoulds being kind of thrown out there, as opposed to maybe looking at it through another lens of positivity and growth and pure awesomeness. So, and that topic is burnout. So how many of you all have experienced some form of burnout over the course of your career? I know I'm 37 now, and I've been in sales my entire career, and I know that I've experienced it multiple times already. Some more extreme cases, some just minor tweaks that I needed to make, perspective changes, and giving myself more grace is definitely a way that, and I'm still working on that one, but that's another way that I've been able to kind of circumvent that burnout and continue to move forward and grow. So what do I mean by burnout? What I mean is, do you feel like the things that used to fulfill you, whether it's the smallest of tasks within your role, or maybe it's the whole role in and of itself. Perhaps it's evolved and changed. I know me personally, I have had numerous sales roles over the course of my career that were not when I left, it was not even remotely close to what my role looked like when I started. And so I think that there's two ways of looking at burnout and two ways of looking at kind of throwing your hands up and saying mercy, and not necessarily that you're quitting, but it's more that it's just not worth it anymore. So let me give you a couple of examples, because I really want to encourage you to, again, look at things differently, put the time in, make those tweaks, because the smallest of tweaks or the biggest of tweaks can make all the difference, because the time that we have on this earth is so short. I want to make sure that we're all living like that, right? I want to make sure that we are all living as opposed to existing. So, are you playing it safe? Are you living or are you existing? I want you to ask yourself those questions. So in the meantime, let me share a couple of examples of burnout and kind of how I circumvented it, kind of flipped it on itself and got through it and grew because of it, okay? So the first example I'll give is a more extreme example. So most of you know that I'm in medical sales, and this particular role that I had, I was covering 5 states, which in and of itself is just a lot to, it's a lot to do. It's a lot to handle. And I had, at the time, a 2-year-old, and, well, gosh, she wasn't even 2. She was 18 months. So an 18-month-old and a 5-year-old, 4-year-old. Okay, so 18 months and 4-year-old. So obviously we don't become parents because we want to up and leave our kids after we give birth to them, right? So I was getting on a plane every single week and having 2 overnights a week. So I was able to really hone in on what I needed to do and be incredibly efficient, right? And then I was able to do a lot of local things in those other 3 work days. However, I was presented with another really big life-changing challenge. And a lot of times loss, I think, brings a whole nother perspective. And so what ended up happening to me, in addition to being away from my people, which those who know me know my people are my people, and you don't mess with my people, and I just want to be with them, right? And I do this all for them. So here I am, traveling like crazy, having all these overnights, and getting paid very well for it, right? I have the golden handcuffs on, that's for sure. And the woman who was basically my mother growing up all of a sudden gets really sick. Really sick to the point where it's touch and go. It's touch and go, and it's that way for 3 months. And during the course of that 3 months, it really had me soul searching. Like, okay, how am I spending my time? How am I spending my time? Because that is our most valuable asset or resource, right? Is our time. And we cannot make more of it. Even if we try to be super efficient and multitask and do all this, all the studies on multitasking just kind of blow my mind. But my grandma Sharon would always tell me, Janene, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. And I'd just be like, oh yeah, Graham, oh yeah, oh yeah. So here it is, December of 2015. And she passes away. And again, I'm having like this battle of the minds, during the whole time that she's sick. And I'm just like, what am I doing after she passes? What am I doing? How am I spending my time? And what example do I want to set for our girls? And am I living that right now? And how do I want to feel? Well, I determined at that time that I wanted to feel present. I wanted to feel passionate about the things that I was doing every day. I wanted to feel nourished, both physically and mentally. And I ultimately wanted to be present. So not only was I traveling, but then I had all this administrative kind of tasks that needed to be done that were not able to be done during the work day. So then I found myself doing a ton of paperwork and non-revenue generating activities in the evening. So not only was I spending all this time away from home, but when I was at home, I was working like a crazy lady. So that was when I really needed to take into account what my grandma Sharon had mentioned, slow down. I needed to slow down to speed up, but I had no idea as to how to do that. And to be honest with you, I pushed back so incredibly hard. It wasn't until I had a doctor's appointment with my naturopath, where she had known me for many years before here I'm coming to see her. And she's like, Janene, you are going to be on antidepressants. You're going to be on anti-anxiety medication and some sort of sleeping pill because your brain is always going. She goes, you are incredible at your job, but you're going to need to back off because if you're going to keep this up, this is what's going to happen. And I just was in tears because that, again, even though my body was shouting at me, because at this point, my thyroid levels were really starting to take a dip. So I was going into hypothyroidism and adrenal fatigue because I had been operating at this crazy high level of stress the majority of my life. And at this point, I actually felt like I thrived on that. I did thrive on it. I conditioned myself to thrive on it or in those situations. And that wasn't the best for me. The best for all of us is not to elevate our cortisol levels, the stress hormone, to the point in which our adrenals cannot keep up. And that's basically what was happening to me. Cortisol levels are supposed to be in the 24 range, and mine were like at 8. And then as the day progresses, your cortisol is at the highest when you wake up, and then it comes down. And then about here is when the melatonin starts kicking in, which it helps you calm and sleep, right? So mine was just like this. And so basically at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd get my second wind and I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's go. And then I couldn't fall asleep at night. I just had the busy brain. Oh, shoot, I forgot to do this. Oh, let me go downstairs and do this. Or, oh, let me go work out because I didn't get that in because I was doing my expense report or whatever it is, right? And so that was a decision that I needed to make that this was no longer serving me and our family, despite the financial benefits and that came from that job and the other perks. I needed to put my family and my health first. So I went ahead and I made a switch to the position that I have now, which is a territory that is smaller, a leader that I love and respect, that gives us autonomy to do what we need to do and to run our business in an entrepreneurial type way. And that's also when I took the cue from Layton to start our vlog. And I cannot tell you guys, having that outlet with this vlog and being able to connect with you all and share and do things as a family and educate, like how empowering and how amazing that has been for not only me, but our family. And so, but that wouldn't have happened unless I took the time to really figure out what my genius is or what I'm good at, figure out what feels good, like how do I want to feel, and more importantly, like make, in this particular extreme example, a really big change and get a new job, okay? Get a new job that not only served our family more, but also served me more. And ironically, I'm making the same amount as I was with those 5 states, and I have more time. So I'm actually making more, right? So that is one example. Well, so then fast forward to my new job, my current job. And what I found myself doing is kind of slipping back into my old mindset. So here I had more time because I wasn't away all of the time. And so I found myself trying to really maximize my time in the field and doing, again, those administrative tasks during the evening hours and on the weekends. But then I started kind of backing up and saying, hold on, this isn't feeling good. This isn't feeling the way that I want to feel. This isn't allowing me to be more present with my time, with my kids, and with my husband, because I was then taking that additional time and I was filling it up with trying to get more out of my clients at work. And then I was doing the non-revenue generating activities that I was doing, say, when I was on the road. I was doing those now at night and on the weekends. So again, kind of checking myself and being able to come back and say, hold on, that doesn't feel good, and that's not how I want to be spending my time. So then I just kind of restructured some things during the day and became okay with, rather than giving 150% at work, give the 120% with your accounts in this particular case. And then use that other 10-15%, give that back to your family, and then fit in, obviously, the administrative activities, fit that into that 110% that you're already doing. Because, again, we only get a chance at this life once. So, again, I really want to encourage you, if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling like things just, something needs to give and you're not really sure what that is, or you're feeling lost and you don't even know what you feel, reach out to me. Private message me. You can email me at jstageberg@hotmail.com. And that is STAGEBERG. Because I want to talk to you, because I've been through this, and there's nothing that I want more than to help others push through, make these minor or big tweaks, and start pursuing what's on your heart, your purpose, identify those gifts and give back.